everybody!
Hey, guys.
Welcome to another episode of Take 47. Now, on behalf of both of us,
oh boy,
we must apologize. We missed the first week of Take 47 since its inception.
Yeah, we just
Now,
right by it.
I'm going to be completely honest with you. It was Labor Day weekend.
Yeah.
So, sometimes, we have plans. We record on the weekends.
We are people, after all.
Yeah, I mean, come on. You think we just slave away in front of a lav mic, making episodes for you? No.
So we're going to apologize, and we're going to give you an in-depth play-by-play of our Labor Day weekend. That's this episode. So I was just shoveling hot dogs down my throat.
Oh.
And, I actually choked a couple times. It was kind of a mess. Like, there was just chunks of meat everywhere, man. It was not pretty. But that's why I wasn't recording Take 47. What about you?
I was jumping on a trampoline. For about 2 days.
2 days straight. Brendan didn't stop.
No, you think I'm kidding. I'm really not.
Well, no, of course I know you weren't kidding. We didn't record, but we were together. See, I was shoveling hot dogs while you were.
That's true. I was like, Cole, did you want to jump on the trampoline?
And then when I did jump on the trampoline, that's when I choked on one of the hot dogs.
Yeah, it was really bad.
Yeah, oof.
But I mean, hey, those hot dogs were good though.
Yeah, they were. Until your little cousin came and punched me in the gut. That part's real, by the way.
That's an inside joke from a while ago. But I digress. Yes, we do apologize. It has been it's been a little while since we haven't had an episode. I mean, this is weird. But without further ado, I can't promise it won't happen again. But, whatever.
But we can promise that we'll only be doing better podcasts.
Of course, only better. So without further ado, let us get into episode 14.
Episode 14 of Take 47.
So we are, we just finished our little 3-episode arc of talking about our all-time favorite movies, which one we think deserves, this perfect list of movies that we decided would, be our definitive list of what we think is, the best of the best.
And we got some pretty positive agreeance with our last video. I think a lot of people found that the movies that we listed, they thought were good as well.
Yeah, no, completely agree. So, I mean, it only seems natural to take the other route, where it's, instead of talking about the best movies on our list, why don't we talk about the ones we think are a steaming pile of garbage? Movies that
Bottom of the barrel here, folks. We're at Walmart, so you don't have to go.
Yeah, basically, jumping through the bargain bin, trying to find these absolutely just insulting works of art.
Not even on Blu-ray disc. That's how bad it is.
Yeah. So, without further ado, let us get into our top 5, or in this case, since it's both of us, 10,
worst movies.
Worst movies. Now, this isn't going to be a definitive list.
Yeah, we're not going head-to-head with this one.
Yeah.
We're just listing some movies that we hate.
Yep. So
that's simple.
Hope you guys are along for the ride, and let's jump in head first, starting at number 5. Cole, what is your number 5 pick?
All right, I'm gonna start things off with something pretty simple, pretty widely agreed upon. Adam Sandler's Jack and Jill. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I think that it exemplifies some of the worst movie making that there is. Like just look how Jack and Jill was made, and then never repeat that process again, and we'll be okay. Adam Sandler sat down. You know what? I don't even know if he wrote this movie. I don't know who the writer was, but I have a feeling it was largely Adam Sandler produced. It stars Adam Sandler as both his brother and his sister. And the jokes are just bad. Like, it's really just concentrated Adam Sandler bullshit. It really is. He doesn't stop.
No.
And then to make Adams worse. Oh God, that's a funny slip. To make matters worse, he gets Al Pacino involved. Why?
Yeah.
Who goes to one of the highest brow people and is like, hey, can you sing a song about a cappuccino? But get this, it sounds like your last name. Isn't that? But I thought...
Yeah. Very, very bad. I think...
Shut up with the Dunkachino.
Yeah.
Come on.
So bad. Like...
Just sitting through that movie made me realize all of the time that I was wasting on everything else.
Yeah, you could have put on literally anything else and it probably would have been better.
I know, just hours wasted watching Jack and Jill.
Yeah.
Time I will never get back.
Yeah, I completely agree. As a matter of fact, it basically is my number 5 as well.
Really?
When you brought up Jack and Jill earlier, it made me realize why I don't like Adam Sandler anymore. Because Adam Sandler's a funny guy.
Yeah, he's a funny guy.
His old movies.
He's got his moments.
Happy Gilmore, Billy Madison. Those movies are genuinely funny. It's stupid funny, but it's still funny.
Yeah,
it doesn't lose its true form. However, I think gross out humor, which was almost the main staple of this movie. I mean, if I remember correctly, there was a whole scene where Al Pacino is talking to Jill
Still Adam Sandler.
through the bathroom door while she had bad Mexican food.
Yeah.
And
so it's just Adam Sandler.
it's just, exactly. It's just a bunch
Voiding
of fart
himself.
jokes. It's just a bunch of gross out humor. And it is supposed to be funny, but it's not. And I think the perfect line to sum up this movie
Oh boy.
is in fact Al Pacino's last line, and it is the last line in the entire movie.
Say it.
I won't directly quote it because it's been a very long time since I've seen this movie, and I don't think anyone's going to jump in the comments and go, actually, Al Pacino's line was this.
If anyone defends this movie, let me just say, I will have a personal vendetta against you forever. I will hunt you down just to change your tastes.
Yeah, please don't like this movie. But regardless, at the end of the movie, they do the Dunkin' Donuts commercial that Al Pacino was supposed to be a part of, because it sounds like his name, the whole Dunkachino thing is Cole mentioned. Now, the last line of the movie is Pacino looking at the director of the commercial, and he said, "Do me a favor, burn this, never show it again." I don't think that was in the script. I genuinely believe Pacino saw the final product of Jack and Jill and was looking at the director of the movie and went, "Do me a favor, burn it.
This.
Never, ever, ever show this movie to any other living soul, ever."
Of course, Al Pacino's wishes were not honored.
No.
This movie was shown to the masses,
Yeah.
and is widely revered as a flop.
Oh, yeah. I mean, nobody was really surprised.
Yeah.
But yes, that is our number 5 pick. So I guess I'll just chime in with my number 4.
Yeah, please keep this ball rolling.
My number 4 is a Resident Evil movie.
Ooh.
Now, I'm going to go out there and say it.
Those had 6 of them, right?
Yes, there were 6. I will go out and completely say this. I genuinely like the Resident Evil series.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, one of them is also your favorite movie.
It's not one of my all-time favorites, but I do genuinely love the movie.
Yeah.
Like,
Number 4, right?
yes.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be completely real with you. I don't know why I'm trying to defend the series as I'm about to talk smack about the series. But let me just say, anyone who likes these games but doesn't like the movies because they're too outlandish and stupid, you are outlandish and stupid. Because tell me right now where the part where in the games one of the boss fights is in a giant active volcano. Literally, you're sitting in it. Okay, that's not outlandish. Or one of the main characters punching a giant boulder to make a bridge. That's not outlandish.
That's true. These games are very campy.
Exactly.
In their horror.
Exactly, but they're still great.
They are still great.
They are. And anyone who doesn't like the movies for that reason being outlandish and stupid, it doesn't make any sense. But the 5th one, Resident Evil Retribution, is genuinely a bad movie.
Yeah.
Like, everything else has a certain charm to it. Okay, the first one was really early 2000s, corny. It was very campy, but it was fun. That was the prime thing.
It knew its audience.
Exactly. And that's the prime thing of almost all these movies, is that they're all fun. They're all fun in some way, shape, or form. You know, the third one has the prettiest cinematography, so the action sequences are both fun and pretty to look at.
Number 2, we got to see
Nemesis. And it was done really, really well, and a lot of massive action sequences. The fourth one was the newest looking one, budget wise. It had 3D tropes, but it was still really, really fun and had a lot of references to the games.
And especially coming out of 4, such a success, you're like, oh man, I can only imagine what they're going to do for number 5.
And then the 5th one completely ruins it because it's all fake.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is the whole movie takes place in a simulation, and that is it. It ruins all the build-up of the first 4 movies, and it just becomes this absolute schlock of a movie to the point where it almost doesn't even fit in the whole series as a whole.
I don't think it does.
Like, if I took out the 5th movie and played the 6th one, you'd be none the wiser.
Yeah, I would just think it's the 5th. Like, number 5 doesn't leave a hole. Number 5 doesn't fill a hole. Yeah. Number 5's a bad movie.
It is. It genuinely is. And, the acting is bad. The actor who played Leon Kennedy, I'm sorry, you have the look, but your acting chops...
He looks dead on.
My dog can do a better performance of Leon Kennedy.
It's such a shame. He looks so accurate.
Yeah.
Like, I see him, and it is just immediate recognition.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I know who that guy is. That's Leon. I've never played a Resident Evil game in my life before, but that is Leon. I know who he is.
Yep.
And then he opens his trap, and I'm like, wait, is that Leon?
Like, what was one of the lines he said? You, me, and Griffin were both sitting there like, yeah? I think it was something
Really?
something stupid. Like everyone knew they had to leave the facility or whatever, and he was like, we have to get out of here.
Yeah, his cadence,
so
his
bad.
timing is so off. And he always has this deep drawl, like he doesn't really have a deep voice, and he's just trying to speak with a deep voice.
Yeah, it's like that bit in Infinity War when Star-Lord is deepening his voice because he's trying to look cooler than Thor.
Yeah.
Like, and that was a bit, only this movie made it seem like it was a serious thing, and it was very stupid.
It was so bad.
Yeah, this movie is just not cool.
Can we just talk about the cuts? How every time there was like an action sequence, it would be like 15 quick succession cuts.
You're referring to the 6th one. The 6th one has a lot of jump cuts.
All right.
That's like the big problem of the 6th one.
Never mind that. I thought that was part of the 5th.
No, the 5th one was having Russian zombies with AKs and chainsaws.
Right.
Yeah, so that's cool. But whatever. Regardless, this movie is terrible. I genuinely don't understand what went wrong, where, like, suddenly the director stopped having fun. And that was the worst part, because in turn, we didn't have fun. And it really is unfortunate, because the 4th one was the most fun out of all of them. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden this one came out, and it's like, what happened?
Yeah, this movie feels like you went into a fever dream and just threw caution to the wind.
Yep.
With any horror movie, action movie tropes you could find.
And it's really funny, because some people say this is the best one. Which is so weird. No, I'm genuinely serious.
All right, well, you know what? I want some of those people to comment on our video and tell us exactly why. Yeah. And then I won't rewatch the movie or even care. Because you're wrong.
Yeah.
We're going to dislike your comment and make a video about why you're stupid. So make yourself known to us.
But yes, that is my number. That's my number 4 pick. And what about you, Mr. Wood? What is your number 4 pick?
All right, next on the list, I have an M. Night Shyamalan movie.
What movie? You're going to say what I think you're going to say.
The Last Airbender.
Oh, no. No, you said it. You said it. You said it.
I said it.
You said it.
M. Night Shyamalan's The Last Airbender. Now, to anyone who doesn't know, this was a live-action remake of the animated series on Nickelodeon, which was Avatar: The Last Airbender. Follows the heartwarming story of a boy who needs to bring peace to a war-torn world, and M. Night Shyamalan thought that it would be a great idea to make that live action. And to his credit, everyone else agreed with him. You know, people were like, I would love to see that live action. I was one of the people that would have loved to see that live action. As a matter of fact, I went with my dad to see it in the theaters.
Oh, God.
And right from the point it started, I was like, uh-oh.
We in for a bad time, aren't we?
He changed the names of everybody, but just subtly.
Yeah, wasn't Aang like Aang?
Aang.
Yeah.
And Sokka was Sokka. And, like, Iroh is Iro. And, like, yeah, he made it all a little bit more, like, true to what, to how people probably would have pronounced their names.
Yeah.
But that's not what we were asking for.
Yeah.
That's, it's great that you're trying to go for accuracy.
Mm-hmm.
But accuracy was never the point of the series.
No.
The point of the series was, look at how inspired we were by all of these Eastern influences, and look at how we made it into a whole new art form.
Mm-hmm.
And then M. Night Shyamalan was like, okay, but I can do that better. It's okay, fine. You know what? If that was it, if that was the only thing bad about the movie, fine. I'd forgive it. I'd forgive a brief name change. But then the actors aren't good.
If anything, too, the actors also are 100% American, are they not?
Yeah.
Like, there's not a single ounce of cultural representation in a show that is
I mean, I
very
think they
clearly...
tried. They got, like, Dev Patel.
Yeah.
But it's Dev Patel. I mean, really? Like, he plays Zuko, and Zuko is probably the hardest character to get right. He starts the series off as a villain and ends the series as a hero, as someone that you have to revere. How do you go from someone despicable to someone admirable, right? And that's his character arc, and it's done so artfully in the animated series.
Because it also has a series to flesh it out, though, as opposed to, like, an hour or 2 hour long movie.
Absolutely. He goes through the world that they've built, and he realizes why his actions were wrong, why he was wrong, his father was wrong, his family was wrong. In this movie, it's just, I'm angsty, and I have to catch the Avatar, but wait, am I the bad guy? And it's like, Dev, come on.
No, honey.
No. And then, honestly, my biggest gripe is that all of the fights just look
Boring.
boring.
If I remember correctly, isn't there a part where a bunch of airbenders do this, like, extremely drawn-out dance sequence just to move a very, very, very small rock?
Earthbenders, but yeah, absolutely.
Or, yes, shit, I'm sorry.
It's like a 2 or 3 minute scene, and they do this really weird dance because like, sure, CGI still is not, like, the easiest thing to get a hang of. And so it was clear that they just told the people that they do it in post. They're like, you do this, and we promise it'll look cool afterwards. And so the people have... There's no connection between the actions that the people do and what happens afterwards. Like, they'll do this really long, drawn-out dance like you're talking about, and then a rock moves. And it's like, that's not...
With that
what
dance,
should have
it
happened.
seems like it should very clearly be a boulder.
Yeah.
Or something a lot
Or maybe
bigger
an
than...
earthquake or something? I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, that's... I wouldn't even say the whole CGI thing is an excuse, because this movie came out in, like, what, 2006 or 7?
I believe so, yeah.
In 2001, 2, and 3, or 2000, 2002, and 2003, Lord of the Rings came out.
Right.
And, like, the CGI of that movie is
Phenomenal.
Is still incredible.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we agreed. It's the best movie.
It's literally, like, I think that's a terrible excuse. I'm not obviously saying you're trying to defend the movie at all.
No.
But it's a terrible excuse for, like, the filmmaker's point of view. Because, I don't know. It really is. It is an embarrassment.
Mm-hmm.
Because Shyamalan is capable of doing good.
We've seen it.
We have seen it. And
everyone thought that he was going to do it.
Yeah. And I genuinely think that his ego got in the way. I think because he was started
on the rise.
Movies that he was still on a good streak during this time period, if I remember correctly. Like, Lady in the Water was a little bit of a drop.
But no one was forgetting about Sixth Sense, and no one was forgetting about Signs.
Yeah. And it seems like he got way too, like, he just took the source material and genuinely thought that he had the trust of his audience to accept every single, like, decision that he would, make for this source material. He incredibly, I think he underestimated the passion
Yeah.
that people had for this animated series.
Absolutely. I mean, if there's one thing that everyone knows right now, it's that the Avatar fan base doesn't give it a break.
Now, my question to you, though, is do you want to see another attempt at a live-action Last Airbender?
Well, it's happening either way.
Is it really?
Netflix. Oh yeah, it's almost done.
Who is behind it?
Maybe not almost done, but Netflix spearheaded the project.
But who's behind it, though? Like, director-wise?
Right. So the original creators got on board with it.
Really?
The original creators of Avatar, Brian I'm not even going to try because I'm going to mess it up, and I'm sorry, you guys. The original creators got on board with Netflix, who was like, we are going to recreate this, and we want you to take charge of it. And they did. And then, like, a month ago, they split up.
Oh.
And
no.
it was because of creative differences, and, and both of them came out and said, the original creators, they said, Netflix wants to do things that we don't want to do, and it is interfering with us, and we had to draw the line. And we're not working with them anymore because they are not doing the project like we would have done the project. And that worries me heavily because what did they do? What did they do to offend the creators so much that they left? And that scares me, because is it going to be another Last Airbender? Or is it going to be on the same level as the original series? Like, am I going to love it still? And the original creators are going to be like, no, don't watch it. It's bad. We don't like it.
That could potentially be true. There have been times where great source, where, you know, the authors of, like, the original source material straight up don't like the film adaptation of their material, but yet it's genuinely a good movie. I mean, Roald Dahl didn't like Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory back in the day with Gene Wilder.
Stephen King didn't like The Shining.
Stephen King didn't like The Shining. The original author of the graphic novel V for Vendetta straight up hated V for Vendetta. Mm-hmm. It's not entirely unheard of for original creators to, you know, not like the film adaptation that is still critically raved about.
But it makes me worried nonetheless.
It makes me worried because it's Netflix.
Yeah, and Netflix has proven that their originals don't always stand up to the task.
No, at all. And
looking
it's
at you,
unfortunate.
Sense8.
But I hope, in all seriousness, I hope that it all works out for Avatar fans. I won't say that I don't like the show because I've never actually watched it. It never interested me when I was a kid. I don't really remember what I watched when I was younger. I'm pretty sure, like, Ben 10. There was this one show on Cartoon Network called, like, Secret Saturdays or something like that I really liked.
That's pretty cool.
But regardless, I hope that it works out. But yes, The Last Airbender really was a bad movie, though.
Yeah. One more note, a closing note on that. It just falls victim to the same thing that a lot of movies fall victim to, which is they see an excellent television series or an excellent book series, and they go, I can smash that into one movie.
Yes, that is...
And that's what M. Night Shyamalan did. He saw the whole first season of Avatar. Avatar has 3 seasons, or they call books, and he was like, I'm going to make 3 movies for 3 books. And everyone was like, is that enough, though? And it wasn't, because he crammed... There's just so much world building that he crammed into 2 hours, which could have taken...
Yeah.
At least 7 or more.
No, that makes sense.
And so, yeah, that's my main complaint, is like, just take more time with it. Take your time, let the art that needs to happen. And that's all I have to say about The Last Airbender.
Yeah, that's valid. So that is your number 4, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Why don't we jump to our number 3 then? My number 3 was actually one that I just saw fairly recently.
Yeah.
And it was a sequel to a film called 13 Cameras. The sequel to it is called 14 Cameras.
Okay.
This movie is ass.
Oh.
I'm sorry, the concept is interesting. The execution is not. The whole concept of the movie is that a landlord owns multiple Airbnbs, multiple properties, but he has cameras set up in every single house that he owns.
This is interesting. I actually haven't heard of this movie.
he loves to watch the people who go in.
Creepy.
And when he does watch them, he, when they leave the house, he'll go in, he just has this, it's this weird, like, fascination with all of their, like, miscellaneous items. For example, like, it's gross out stuff, like putting their toothbrushes in his mouth and stuff like that. It's really, really gross. But at the same time, it's an interesting concept. However, like I said, the execution is strictly for shock value, and that is unfortunate. The movie looks like it's filmed on a short budget, which is perfectly fine. The look of a movie usually doesn't bother me, because there are decent low-budget movies that are fantastic. I mean, one of the best examples is John Carpenter's Halloween. Like, that movie was literally made on a shoestring budget.
Right, by no means is it a visual masterpiece.
Look at the scope of Halloween as a franchise now.
And yet it's huge.
So I don't think budget is a fantastic excuse. I don't even think it is an excuse.
Right, you can do so much with so little nowadays that
especially since your whole concept involves just security cameras.
Yeah.
That's it.
High budget movies are really only, maybe not only, but like CGI is what you need the budget for. So
exactly.
If
you
you're
don't
not
need
doing
CGI,
then like you don't need a ginormous budget.
I will say though, the antagonist of this movie is played brilliantly.
Do you know the actor's name?
I don't remember the actor's name.
Right.
I want to say this is his only acting credit, the first and second one of this movie. But
man.
he has the look. He is very, very, very good at what he does.
Okay.
That's to say that, he's not... His material, that's the weak part, is the material. The story, especially in the sequel, goes absolutely nowhere.
Okay.
Not a single thing builds up to anything. It is just a bunch of moments, and then at the end, it just ends. But then it does the stupid...
It just ends.
...sequel bait thing, where...
Or did it?
Yeah. It is an incredibly... It's on Netflix, so anyone can watch this movie.
14 cameras.
Yes, 14 cameras. And, I mean, it literally is just... It's just not great. There's really no other way to explain it because there's not much to dissect.
Yeah, the birds kind of agree with you, I think.
Yeah, I think the birds that you can probably hear in the background absolutely agree. But honestly, 14 Cameras really is not a good movie at all.
Dude,
it's
I
just
take your word for it, man.
I don't know. Like I said,
I'm
it's
not
on
gonna
Netflix.
lie, though. I think I might have to watch some of
it's
it.
on Netflix. Go see it if you want to,
Maybe a viewing party is in order.
Yeah, watching it with a group of friends, which is how I did it, is the only reason that movie was even remotely enjoyable.
Because you can laugh at
because we were all making fun of it.
Yeah.
And that's that. Because some of it was so easily avoidable. That's one of my biggest gripes with a movie, especially with a horror movie. If you have a scenario that someone can easily end the movie at any second,
why are you putting it in?
better have a damn good explanation as to why your movie's not ending.
Yeah.
It better not be some lazy ass, they just don't want to.
Right, that takes me out of the
that's
movie.
Stupid.
Like nothing else.
That's
it's
it.
Unrelatable protagonist.
There is one point I do want to address, though.
Okay.
It does point out something that was incredibly interesting for about 5 seconds.
And then never mentions it again.
I'll explain it a little bit. He starts live streaming all of his
the
footage.
Does? Okay.
Yes, he starts live streaming it to the dark web.
Oh.
What's interesting, for just a little bit, is someone starts throwing out prices for the people that are there. Like, how much for the girl? Yes. And he starts getting, offended. He's like, no, not for sale, not for sale. Because he likes watching.
Uh-huh.
But then it comes to the point where the chat that his live stream has...
They're all just trying to buy them.
They're trying to. Then all of a sudden they start trying to find the addresses. Then they find the addresses. And then he's watching on the security cameras people going to the house.
Oh my god.
So there's a moment where he goes and he's almost defending the people.
That's a really interesting development.
And then it just goes absolutely nowhere and the movie just ends.
Wait, they don't touch on it
He shows
anymore?
up, he saves the 2 girls or whatever from this person from the dark web, whatever.
Yeah.
And then he goes, you saw my face, I'm a villain again. That was it. It was only literally one person And that was it. It was only one person that was like, look at me, I'm from Dark Web.
So they introduce
Yeah.
they introduce a chance for the main character to learn a lesson.
Well, I wouldn't even think of it
He gets
like...
all the way up to learning that lesson and then just decides not to.
I think, if anything, it would have been interesting that, like, he's still an antagonist, but he's a territorial antagonist.
Yeah.
I think that's a cool idea, where it's like, no, they're mine, and I only like watching them. That is it. And,
Yeah, because you know what? That's a character trait right there.
Yeah, and they don't do anything with it.
The movie was too scared
And that's
to build on
the
their own
unfortunate
character.
part.
Wow. A movie that can't even build on its own characters
Yeah,
is a disgrace.
it is. So yeah, that is why 14 Cameras is one of my least favorite movies, and that is my number 3 pick. What is your number 3 pick, Cole Riverwood?
All right, mine is a movie that I went to see in theaters, and I feel like I'm beating a dead horse with this one just a little bit because a lot of people say they hate this movie. Ghostbusters.
You're talking about Melissa McCarthy.
I'm talking about Melissa McCarthy's Ghostbusters.
Oh my god, why did you even want to see it, pray tell?
Because I love Ghostbusters. I unironically think that Ghostbusters is another one of the best movies ever.
I don't disagree with you.
Because Ghostbusters, at the very least, is a cult classic at this point. I mean, you got Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, other people who I can't remember. I'm so sorry. Yeah, no,
Rick Moranis.
Rick Moranis, thank you. Yes,
Was one of the main
yes,
big guys.
Regardless, Ghostbusters, timeless classic, funny, dramatic, engaging, memorable, all of these things. Ghostbusters is.
It sounded like Yoda.
All of these things Ghostbusters is. Please don't comment on my impression. I promise I can do better. But like, why would they try to remake it? Is my question. And here's my gripe with it. People have already tore this movie to shreds, and so I don't even need to touch on all the reasons why. Like, the cinematography was bad, why the jokes were bad, blah, 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 whatever. Everyone already knows that. But, when... Alright. The reason that they remade it was, like, we want to show that we can have all these women carry the cast. And I was like, well, okay, yeah, prove it to me. I want to see all you women carry the cast. I'm rooting for you. And I saw the movie, and it flopped. And I'm like, I know exactly why. Because they didn't just write their own damn movie.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Why?
Wasn't it set in the same...
It was set in the same, like...
Yeah.
Like, it's just the same.
Yeah.
Why didn't you create your own thing?
Yeah.
I would have stood up and cheered if it was like a Black Panther type thing where they're like, hey, we got like 100 women together, we all sat down for like 2-3 years and came out with this excellent movie, which is a brand new original thing.
Yeah.
But instead they were like, we're 4 women who are funny sometimes and we want to remake your favorite movie, and everyone's like, wait, but we don't want that. We want you to keep doing what you're already doing.
The remake for the sake of a remake.
Yeah, it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I completely agree.
I want female-led movies. I really do. Make your own movies.
Exactly.
Like everyone else. There is no... There's so many talented people out there.
Yeah.
And so many people just decide to remake their favorite things, but like, no. Take inspiration.
Yeah.
Take a part of Ghostbusters, and then take a part of something else, and make your own thing from that. Don't just make Ghostbusters. What?
I agree. I completely agree with you. I mean, remakes are something that Hollywood, especially in the early, like, 2010s, was all over the place.
Yeah.
You had a remake for, just in the early 2000s in general, you had remakes for Halloween, which, to be fair, I genuinely like Rob Zombie's Halloween, the first one at least.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have, like, one that I'm not going to mention until we get to number 2. Then we have like the Nightmare on Elm Street remake. Then we have Friday the 13th. There's so many different remakes that came out, and the unfortunate thing is a lot of them aren't new material, like taking the same antagonist or idea and kind of putting your own spin on it. It's literally the same movie, just done worse.
Yeah.
And that's the annoying part.
Yes, it's so lazy.
Exactly. They don't want to take risks. If they were going to do something, and I honestly I can't think of a remake that has done it. And if you come up with one, please let me know.
Yeah, same for
Like,
all you listeners. Leave us in the comments any remakes that you can think
The
of that did
only
it
thing
right.
I can think of right now that's, well, it's not necessarily a remake, but more of a reboot, is Jordan Peele's Candyman. Is the only thing I have.
Oh, yeah?
Is the only thing I have hope for, because I know Candyman was supposed to come out this year.
Mm-hmm.
And I have faith in Jordan Peele. And so I think it could genuinely be really good. But I do completely agree with you for the sake of remakes, and also to tackle the whole lack of female-led movie situation, and then all of a sudden not accepting criticism. That's a big thing, too.
Yeah, they wouldn't even open the doors that their movie was bad. They were like, no,
Yeah.
it can't be bad. It's
And
women-led.
if you didn't like the movie, you were automatically considered, like,
Anti-feminist.
Yes, exactly. And I think that is
really
incredibly...
disappointed me.
I think that's incredibly unfair.
Yeah.
Um,
I know it might sound like we're just two men
Yeah, I know,
shitting on
like-
feminists, but we promise we're not.
there's literally Alien is a female-led movie for,
Yes.
like, the last hour.
This is about the movie.
Exactly.
And
come
the
on.
movie, it was just disappointing.
It was.
I just wish that those women made their own original movie.
I agree, because I like Melissa McCarthy a lot. I genuinely do. I think Melissa McCarthy is very funny. But it, like you said, I completely agree. It is unfortunate. And, I mean, it's just something that Hollywood, I don't think, is ever going to learn. Because, as always,
It'll take them a while.
it will. But, you know,
Until they don't get paid for that is when
Yeah.
they stop.
Yeah. So that is your number 3.
Correct.
So my number 2 is one that I was literally just about to say. It is the remake, or in this case, prequel of The Thing.
Oh, I didn't even know there was one.
In 2011, if I remember correctly, that is the year, they decided to do a prequel of John Carpenter's The Thing.
Is it just called, like, Things or something like that?
No, it's still called The Thing.
Oh, okay.
Now, I don't know if you remember this part of John Carpenter's version.
Okay.
Do you remember in the beginning with the husky that was running through the Arctic, and
Doesn't he get sniped?
There was a helicopter trying to snipe it.
Yeah.
And then they get to the American base where all the main characters are, and there's a shootout, and then the helicopter explodes and all that stuff.
I do remember that. And the whole thing is like the dog was infected and
Yes.
they knew it, and so they were
The
trying to take it out.
prequel is that team that was trying to hunt it down, and their experience with that creature.
You know, I gotta say, that's kind of an interesting topic.
It is. Now let me tell you why this movie was bad. Because it wasn't the cast that was the problem. It was the visual effects. The studio, I don't remember the name of the studio. I apologize. But they wanted to honor the fact that The Thing is a masterclass of practical effects.
Very true.
So they made practical effects for this movie. Almost all of the creatures were practical.
And it failed.
No.
Oh.
If I remember correctly, without warning, without even notice, when the movie came out, every single piece of practical effects that they used was CGI'd.
You're joking.
Everything was replaced with CGI.
Then
And you
why
can
did
see it blatantly in the movie that it is incredibly
Build
CGI.
things.
They put so much effort into the effects of the movie, and it just was CGI. It was CGI'd over.
That's like...
And it looks very bad. The movie itself isn't even like, even if the movie was practical, I personally still wouldn't like it because it's just a little bit more of like a retread. I kind of wanted like a more unique experience, like what they went through was completely different, something like that.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, that wasn't the case. It was kind of very similar.
If you're gonna do something like that, then you have to give us a new lens to view
Yes.
the same story.
Yeah,
And it doesn't sound like they did that.
No, they had the cast. They genuinely did. They had, if I remember correctly, Joel Edgerton. They had, I forget the woman.
Is that Taryn's sibling?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
But they also had, I forget the name of the main female actress, and I apologize. But they also had Christopher. I can never say his last name because he's from Game of Thrones. And he's a fantastic actor as well. He's one of my favorite characters in the show. Mary Elizabeth Winstead. That's who it is. Thank you very much, Cole, for that save. Because I love.
Oh my god, that Eric Olson.
Yes, like the movie had the cast. The concept is interesting. The execution was not. And it is unfortunate because I was really excited to see this movie, and it was an incredible letdown, especially since all that work put into the practical effects of the thing was just completely just pointless. It wasn't used.
Let's not forget that this was one of our agreed best movies ever.
Yes, it was.
So to hear that there's a remake of it that doesn't even live up to a good movie.
Yeah, no, it's really unfortunate because like I said, the effects crew. I mean, you got to think about it. I wouldn't even be surprised if half of those people on the effects team were actually inspired by the thing. I mean, I'm inspired by the thing, and I don't even know how to work on effects such as that. Like, I think it is incredibly interesting that they use like melted bubble gum for some of the effects, and like how everything is. It's so interesting.
I really want to know what it was that made them switch from practical to CGI.
I don't know, but it genuinely. I'll show you some clips after this. It looks really, really bad.
All right, deal.
Like, but whatever. It happened. Let's just pretend it didn't, like most people do.
Yeah.
And that is my number 2 pick. So what is your number 2 pick, Cole?
All right. So I'm sure everyone remembers when Disney announced that they were that they were going to be remaking a lot of their classic movies. Live action.
Which one we talking about here? Which one you tackling?
A lot of them are really bad.
But I feel like you're gonna point out one that I think everyone agrees on.
Cinderella live action.
Never mind. Wow.
Is the worst.
Really?
Cinderella live action, I hate.
Wow.
I went to see... Wait, hold on a second. Which one did you think I was going to say?
I genuinely thought you were going to say Lion King.
Oh, Lion King? Lion King was disappointing, but, like, I respect how much work the researchers put into it.
Fair enough.
You know, like they really... Okay, that's not the problem.
Yeah,
I could talk about
though.
why I respect Lion King, but Cinderella, I don't. Cinderella, they gave the Mulan treatment. They were like, no. We're going to make it real, and that means no singing. And I'm like, okay, but hold up. What is the Cinderella story without singing? Like, that's why people love that movie. It's a musical.
That's why people love that movie.
Like, you think I watch animated Cinderella not to sing along?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. What are you... Dummy? No. If I'm watching a Disney musical, chances are I'm gonna sing along. Like, that's just the nature. So, I go to see it. And the only song in the whole movie is just Cinderella looking out the window going, lavender's blue, dilly dilly, lavender's green. When I am king, dilly dilly, you shall be queen. What? No. That's not Cinderella.
That's not it.
What? Who in their right mind was
no.
like, alright, and for the only song, some nursery rhyme?
Yeah, that's like when The Lion King butchered Be Prepared.
Yes, it was boring, it was unimaginative, and it was just crude. And for those reasons, I think that Cinderella is the worst live-action remake.
I don't have anything to say about that, only because I didn't see it. But
That's fair. I don't think anyone should.
I think I'm going to say thank you. You saved my time of, the off chance that I would ever watch it in general. But, I mean, sure. Yeah. If you think it's bad, I probably agree with you.
As an honorable mention, though, I'd also like to say, I haven't even seen this one yet, but I think that it is going to earn a spot on this list in the future. Mulan? What? What? I don't even need to see it. I just know that Disney filmed next to a genocide and did nothing. So, what?
Yeah.
There we go. There's my honorable mention. I just had to make sure I spilled the tea. It's not honorable. My dishonorable mention, dishonor on you, dishonor on your family, dishonor on your cow. Get out of here, Mulan.
Wow.
But yeah, live action Cinderella, bad. Live action Mulan, pretty sure it's going to be bad. Haven't seen it yet. Brendan, take it away.
So now we're on our last two.
Our last two.
So my number one pick, I really hate that I even have to talk about this one, because it really is just an insult to one of my all-time favorites. Jeepers Creepers 3.
Oh no.
Now,
not
for the record though, before anyone jumps into the comments, I know, okay?
I know
about the director. I know all the gross stuff that he has been accused of, and I guarantee you he's 100% guilty. I am not saying that he isn't. He literally has been caught doing all that stuff.
Gross.
I understand that. However, it is art from artist, okay?
Art from artist, very important.
So, at the time, Jeepers Creepers 1 is still one of my favorite horror movies of all time. The movie...
You showed it to me. I thought it was really good.
I have showed it to a few of my friends now, and not a single one has disliked it. It's a low budget. It's very isolated. It's two really well-developed characters that you care about.
It doesn't try to be anything more than it is.
Exactly. And the antagonist is so cool.
And funny.
I love the Creeper. The Creeper is a very awesome character. Its design is cool. I love the duster that it has. I love the cowboy hat that it wears.
How it metamorphosizes.
Exactly. I love everything about Jeepers Creepers 1. Jeepers Creepers 2 is a continuation of it. It is a lot more action-based because, we obviously know what the monster is now, so they're not trying to hide it like in the first movie. Mm-hmm. And while it isn't as good as the first, it is still incredibly fun, and I still consider it a decent movie, and I consider it an entry in the trilogy. The third one is completely different. He didn't get studio backing, the director. Mm-hmm. Rightfully so. He's a pile of garbage. But unfortunately, he doesn't want to give up the rights to his baby. And it's really unfortunate because he's taking this really, really cool villain and just dragging him into the dirt with him. So his third attempt was on a shoestring budget, was only in theaters for one day, and...
It was only in theaters for one day?
Yes, it was for one day. And I was mad at the time because I had driver's ed that night and I couldn't see it.
Oh, no.
But I'm actually... Thank you, driver's ed, because you saved me. I had no idea how bad this movie was going to be. Everything about it is terrible. First off, it's not even a sequel. It is a weird prequel sequel in between 1 and 2.
That's not what people
That doesn't
wanted.
make any sense. It's stupid. Then you start trying to throw some new lore into it that makes no sense and is incredibly stupid. The effects, incredibly dumb and stupid. The truck in the movie, the first movie...
Be eating you.
...is alive in the third one.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah. The thing has traps. Literally has traps. It shoots heat-seeking mines out of the exhaust.
No.
It shoots heat-seeking bombs.
Come on.
Suddenly.
You've gone too far.
And it's so stupid. What? The thing drives itself. It's a bunch of horny teenagers.
Hello, governor.
It is a bunch of horny teenagers that have terrible dialogue. The acting is awful. It is nothing. Like, if you watch the first two movies and see this one, it is completely different. And it's because the director, Victor Salva, is a piece of garbage, refuses to give the rights to anyone who isn't a pedophile.
Wow.
And he's dragging this series into the dirt, and it's incredibly infuriating because this trilogy could have been really, really good. And he decided to just bring it to the dirt with him, like I said.
What could have been?
It's an incredibly disappointing movie. It doesn't look good. Nothing about it is good. Actually, no, I apologize. The person, Jonathan Beck or Breck, I don't remember. I think it's Jonathan Beck, who has played the Creeper since the first movie.
Oh, he still delivers a good performance.
Fantastic. He loves being the Creeper, and I'm very glad that he does love
At least
the
there's
Creeper.
one redeeming aspect.
Exactly. And his performance is, as always,
Creeper's
really
gonna
good.
creep.
He's very, very good at that villain. That's it. That is the only thing I can think of. That's it. So that is my least favorite movie of all time. It genuinely was a disgusting mess, especially knowing like why the movie is as low budget as it is, and it's not fantastic at all. So that is my number one pick. What is your number one pick, Mr. Cole?
All right, my number one pick is a movie that I wanted to see in theaters and I didn't get to. Little 12-year-old me was very disappointed.
I'm very curious.
I'm just gonna say it. Ghost Rider: Spirit of Vengeance.
No!
What's going
on? No!
Come on, what's going on?
Oh my god, you completely just brought that movie back into my head.
You forgot about it.
I genuinely forgot about it. Oh my god. Oh my god, no.
Nicolas Cage, for anyone who doesn't know, did a sequel to Ghost Rider called Ghost Rider: Spirit of Vengeance.
I can't believe you brought that movie back.
Came out in 2012. And it was bad. It was bad.
Bad? That thing is an atrocity. Are you serious? Like, if you had to sum this movie up in one sentence, it is Ghost Rider peeing fire.
Yes! That's a scene!
Yep.
That's a scene. That's a tactic he uses.
Oh, my God.
Why?
And the villain eats a Twinkie.
And the villain eats a Twinkie.
Oh,
the villain
so
tries to decay a Twinkie and can't do it, and he's like, oh, I guess these things stick around forever, and then, like, eats it.
Yeah.
Because his whole power is that he can draw the life out of things.
Which is literally technically the antagonist of the first movie.
Yeah.
Whatever.
So yeah, remember the first Ghost Rider, right? Sure, it was campy, but it was like Spider-Man 1, Tobey Maguire campy.
I still love that
where
movie.
you love it. You're
agree.
engaged in it. You're like, oh man, this superhero, yeah, sure, he might be a little ridiculous, he might do some crazy things, but I'm into it. I'm having fun. What? Look at him, he's driving up a building, it's on fire now, oh my gosh, he's running away from the cops. Who is this guy? What is he doing?
It's awesome.
It's so cool. And Ghost Rider, you get to watch Nicolas Cage, Johnny, isn't it Johnny Cage?
Johnny Blaze.
Johnny Blaze. Johnny Blaze, he goes throughout the movie, you get to watch him transform, watch him have to deal with losing his loved ones, his trying to redeem his father, trying to redeem himself, watch him push away his friends and family. It's like real conflict, and everything that an early age superhero movie is thanks to Ghost Rider, I think. Like, it was one of the earliest ones
that
really
2006.
pioneered what the heck was going to happen.
Yeah.
This movie comes along and he's just chasing a kid.
With Idris Elba. They dragged him into it. They dragged a lot of good actors into this.
Look, it's not Nicolas Cage's fault for doing the sequel because, like, who can blame him? He was in one of the biggest movies at the time. Of course he was going to do the sequel. This movie had a huge budget in the $100 million range. I'm sorry, maybe the budget was 50 and it made $100 million.
Right. It was a profit nonetheless,
yeah,
though.
People went to see it because people expected it to be good, and people were disappointed. No one remembers this movie.
No.
The effects were bad. The writing was
He
bad.
didn't even look good.
No, he didn't.
He looked very gross.
Yeah.
Like, the whole theme of that movie is literally, like, adding weird, like, black dirt spots over every single thing in the entire movie.
They try to follow the superhero trope of like, oh no, he lost his powers and now he has to get them back, but does he even want them anymore? And, like, that was just dumb because the whole first movie was him learning to accept the powers. So, like, why is he forsaking them now when he just learned how to harness them? That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it's stupid.
And then he gets the kid and he gets the powers and he's like, well, I guess I'm done now.
What is it? He's blue now.
Yeah.
His fire is blue.
Oh wow, he's a little hotter now.
Yeah.
That's cool.
He's supposed to be like a guardian angel now.
It just
I really hope, actually, like, that's one of the movies I'm desperately waiting for them to throw him
be remade?
Because he's in the MCU.
Marvel does own Ghost Rider.
No, I don't mean own. Well, yes, he does. They do, rather. But he's literally in the MCU. Like, an actual character in the MCU.
Where?
He was in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh, I never watched that.
I don't watch it either, but I know that the character Ghost Rider in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is canon.
They have Johnny Blaze in.
It's
Agents of
one
S.H.I.E.L.D.?
of the other.
Oh, it's a different Ghost Rider?
Yeah, there's.
Okay. That could be good.
His instead of a motorcycle, it's like a muscle car.
Muscle car.
But he's in the MCU technically.
So they're just waiting to make
theoretically, at any point,
doing the same thing that they are with Fantastic Four or something?
They can use Ghost Rider.
Why haven't they?
I want them to remake it because Ghost Rider is so cool. I love Ghost Rider. His look is awesome. He has a flaming chain and a shotgun.
Yeah, I feel like that's one of the superheroes that... I know. That is a superhero that has been neglected.
Yeah. Like, are you kidding me?
An awesome superhero
he
that's been neglected.
He is very cool.
You got a massive following. I mean, like, you saw how happy people were with the first Ghost Rider movie.
Yeah.
Why haven't they done that again?
I don't know.
They have the special effects department. They proved that.
Yeah.
They have the cast.
I know. In 2006, it actually looked good.
Yeah. So where is it?
I don't know. But
that's a different discussion.
It is.
I think we got through our list, though.
We did. Hope you guys enjoyed this, episode of Take 47. If you guys
agree with us,
yes,
let us know.
Agreed or disagreed.
Ooh, let us know that too.
Or if you have your own list, please let us know in the comments.
We really want to hear it.
Absolutely. And without further ado, we will see you on the next episode of Take 47. Peace out, guys.
See ya.